Yes, we have an ultra rare Gibson Green Widow guitar to show you today, so let's hear this beast. Hey guitarists, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury shred machines here in Nottingham, England. And today we're going to be demoing a Gibson Green Widow guitar from 2012. First off, what is a Widow guitar? What makes this guitar special? The Widow Les Pauls are basically a series of guitars that featured coloured lacquer over the headstock, the binding, and also the body. So it basically absorbed the entire guitar in one colour, and it created a haunting look that was just so damn cool. I'll come clean, this is my personal Green Widow, this is my guitar, so it won't be for sale, but I thought I'd still do a video on it because there's not many videos out there about the Green Widow guitars. So here is a brief history of the Gibson Widow. The first model was released in 2009 and was nicknamed the Black Widow as it featured a spider on the back of the headstock, the Black Widow spider. But the Widow idea wasn't actually created by Gibson, it was created by Sam Ash, who basically ordered 25 of these Black Widow guitars as a custom order through the Made to Measure program. In 2009 they placed an order for 25 Les Pauls in Widow burst finished, built to historic R7 specs, which is an interesting point because all the guitars that come after were more Les Paul custom specs. So afterwards they also adopted this Black Widow finish on a Flying V guitar, which is very cool, it's like a satin finish. One of the runs featured rosewood fingerboards as at the time Gibson restricted on the use of ebony, so they used rosewood as their neck choice. You could find these colours in red, green, blue, orange, all different types of colours, and it's a really cool guitar. The most rare probably being green and orange. You see a lot of blues cropping up. We actually had one a couple of years ago in stock, which was really cool. And they've released another flock of Widows with Rich-like fretboards, which are deemed less desirable due to the kind of bad opinion on Rich-like, but they're still very cool guitars, and you can see them being released all the way up to 2019. With the inception of the Gibson mod shop, where Gibson sell factory seconds with cool modded specs, we've seen quite a few Widows crop up on Reverb, or using kind of the Widow DNA, so the lacquer over the binding and headstock. So I'll insert some pictures now of some of the mod shop Widows that we've seen before. So that is the history of the Widows, so let's check out this Green Widow in more detail. So here we are up and close with the Gibson Green Widow. As I mentioned at the start, this is my own personal guitar, so I have done a few mods to this guitar, and I actually bought it about 5 years ago from Squealing Pig Guitars. Pretty funny how we have a full circle moment. I wasn't working with them at the time, but yeah, this is a pretty cool guitar. So you'll see from the condition that I have battered this guitar, it was my main gigging guitar as well as filming guitar for the best part of 5 years, and obviously I still use it as my main guitar now. So there is a lot of scratches, lots of kind of wear marks. I've got different pickups in this model, but I'll give you a loose rundown of the specs as well as the specs of how they would have been at factory. So this is basically built around a Les Paul custom figured. So you can see here we have a maple top, two pieces of maple, and this has a really nice kind of unique maple pattern to it. We then have a mahogany back, which is completely black, and a mahogany neck, which is a slim taper. So it's kind of like a modern custom with the kind of Grovers, which are keystone tips. Also have a rosewood fingerboard, as I mentioned at the start. This one's nice and dark, and I think it actually helps just kind of offset the darkness of this guitar, as it obviously is a black, it's kind of that brown hue, so it really complements the green nicely. And we have real mother of pearl inlays on this. They actually have a little bit of figuring in, which is really nice to see. We have green binding all of this guitar. As I mentioned, the lacquer is basically sprayed over it, just like how they would spray basically like tinted dye over the aged guitars. You can see in areas where I've actually worn through the lacquer, and you can see it's just white underneath, so that obviously proves that it's just paint that has gone over it. We have black side dots. Even the Gibson custom logo is actually in green, which is just so cool, as well as the serial number. The best bit about these guitars is the headstock. Obviously you get the split diamond with the green over it. You do get a little bit of lacquer checking with these, but it's nothing I can't deal with. Other than that, it's just standard specs for Les Paul Custom. So you have a natural bridge, stop tailpiece, three-way switch, 2 volumes, 2 tones with the speed knobs. We have the 7-ply binding and 5-ply binding on the headstock. It's just a really cool Les Paul Custom. In terms of modifications I've done to it anyway, I've replaced the pickups, so these would normally come with 490R, 498T humbuckers. I'm not a big fan of them pickups. I think they do sound great, but they can be a little bit too overdriven. So I replaced them pickups with some bare knuckles. So these are the bare knuckle riff raffs, I think they are. I put this in the wrong way, but I think it's pretty cool. It looks a bit like a Peter Green one, so I just kept it. I guess all Adam Jones. But yeah, that's my guitar. Obviously, I have worn through it. I'm personally not really too bothered about scratches and stuff on a guitar. I've probably been quite careless over the years, but I never plan to sell this. This is my guitar for life, and I really like how it looks these days, as a little bit battered. I'm going to put on screen now a few pictures of what this guitar looked like brand new. So this was initially a guitar in the USA with the retailer. This came from Cream City Music in America before it came to Squealing Pig Guitars, and I've actually got the pictures of the stock photos of when this was brand new, which is pretty funny to be fair. As I said, this was a 2012 model and limited edition for the era, so very, very rare. We haven't seen any of these other Green Widows come into stock, so it definitely is very rare. But yeah, I really like it. It's a cool guitar. So let's hear the playing demos. guys, that brings us to the end of another video. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video and checking out my personal Green Widow. Let us know in the comment section below what you think of this guitar and if you'd like to see some of my other guitars in my collection. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers guys, see you soon.